Today I'm reviewing this awesome ear training app called Ella. You may have seen my video on another app called Chet. It's by the same creators. This is not paid content. I think both apps are great and we're going to dive right into it. So Ella is a sight singing app. And if you don't know what sight singing is, it's the ability to sing a piece of music that you see. When you're able to sing something without relying on hearing it from something else, you know that you have those intervals and those melodies and those tonalities really firmly in your ears. It's much more difficult than just hearing it and recognizing what it is and writing it out or identifying it. It's sort of the next logical progression in your ear training journey, and I think a lot of people, myself included, could benefit a lot from this. So on the app, you're given a reference pitch. You get one note to start with, and then you have to sing the rest of it. So let's jump into the app and I'll show you how it works. If you're new to the channel, I post new content every week on all sorts of music-related topics, from how to practice better, ear training, learning tunes, all sorts of stuff like that, as well as covers and original music. If that sounds like something you'd be into, subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so let's jump over to the app here. Got some different games at the home screen here. To start, let's click on Beginner. So the introduction is going to be just very simple melodies. It gives you the first note, and then you hit record. Da, da. So I got 100% on that one, but it's pretty easy. Not going to pat my back too hard. It also doesn't matter what octave you sing the notes in, so whatever's comfortable in your vocal range. You don't have to have good vocal technique. It's mostly just listening for the pitch and being able to match that. So each one of these games gets progressively a little bit more challenging. So let's go to major and minor arpeggios. This is the hardest one of the introductory games. Da, da, da. So for time's sake, I'm only doing one or two examples of each game, but it would go on for a couple minutes at a time. And when you go over to this screen, you've got your melodies, which is probably the most fun and the most useful one, but the scales and arpeggios and stuff like that are great too. They're good building blocks to make the melodies easier, and vice versa probably. You have melodies that are in major keys, melodies that are in minor keys, and the most difficult ones are probably the atonal ones because they're not really in one specific key. All 12 notes of the chromatic scale are fair game. Fun fact, Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter actually uses all 12 notes of the chromatic scale. So, you know, J.K. Rowling may be cancelled, but as far as I know, I think John Williams is cool. I don't know, he ripped off Stravinsky a bunch, but who hasn't? So let's try major level 1 first. Also, if I were to take too long to start this question, it would dock points from my score at the end. And if you get into it, there is a leaderboard where you can compete against your friends and other people using the app to get high scores. So that kind of gamifies it and makes it a little bit more interesting. Da, 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 da. So Mary Had a Little Lamb. And you can see there I got docked 10 points for proficiency. That's because I intentionally took too long to start the question. And so my score would have been 94, but I got 84 instead. Okay, now let's try minor level 3. See how I do that. Da, 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 da. So there will be some accidentals when you get to level 3. So in that case, it put in the flat 5, a blues note. Also, some of them will use the natural 7 or maybe the natural 6, and you'll have to hear some notes that are outside of the key, but it's still going to be mostly diatonic, meaning mostly in one key center. When you get to atonal, however, that all goes away. So you just have to hear the relationship between the intervals. So you've got 3 notes, 4 notes, 5 notes, pretty self-explanatory what that is, but I'll just do a couple examples of the 3-note one for now. Da, da, da. It's tricky. Da, da, da. 99, not bad. There we go. So it's a pretty simple app, and it's pretty self-explanatory what the scales, arpeggios, and triads are. I'm not going to go through everything, but I think that this is a really amazing and really useful tool for a lot of musicians. And since doing the last one, I've actually been chatting a bit with the developer of this app and of Chet as well, and it sounds like they're working on some really cool things. So just keep an eye on that. I would highly recommend downloading these 2 apps. They're completely free, and they're some of the best that I've seen out there. So hope this is helpful. If you made it this far, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.